What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to do a comprehensive review of Maple Finance. So Maple is essentially an institutional capital marketplace, and it's also a network that's powered by blockchain technology. So the protocol is already live on Ethereum mainnet, and it does provide infrastructure for credit experts to pretty much run on-chain lending businesses. So the platform is supposed to connect institutional lenders to borrowers as well. They also have an ecosystem token, MPL, which is an ERC20 token that I will also be diving into the tokenomics of it. So stay tuned. If you like this type of decentralized finance content, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button. This is going to be a really good one, guys, giving you the alpha just as we're entering the final phases of this bear market that's been ongoing for over a year now, and it's time for you to make sure you're staying in touch with all the latest research on all the tokens that might have a real good upside in the next bull run. So make sure you stay tuned. Go to our main site, decentralized.news, for the best cryptocurrency exchange reviews, DeFi platform reviews, and a whole lot more as well. Let's get into it. Maple. Wonderful. So let's first start by talking about what Maple is all about again. So like I said, on this platform, you're actually able to effectively access fixed income yield opportunities by just depositing capital into liquidity pools. So these liquidity pools are actually managed by pool delegates who are effectively experienced investors. So these pool delegates are there to then conduct due diligence and also agree terms with borrowers before funding any loans from their designated liquidity pools. So liquidity providers can then in turn earn yield through diversified exposure to premium institutions. As far as institutional borrowers who are also seeking transparent and efficient on-chain financing, they're able to then make requests for capital on Maple by simply leveraging their reputations in order for them to qualify for under collateralized borrowing, which is something that's really fantastic, because in a lot of DeFi you always have to have over collateralization, just obviously as a mitigation factor when it comes to managing liquidations and margin calls. But on Maple, you actually don't have these threats. So the guys from Maple Finance themselves describe it as a tech platform that has smart contracts that are delivered on real blockchains frictionlessly, and they're doing this 24/7. They're also growth focused in terms of having oriented experts and capital providers coming to the platform to collectively sort of build on the future of DeFi. And they also talk about free flowing capital as far as uncollateralized lending being a liberating factor for businesses, and being able to issue flexible terms on chain is also something that is said to be more efficient, and they do work with institutions as well. So if you're interested in sort of being a lender on the actual platform, the easiest way to earn with Maple is actually through lending. So lenders are able to deposit into a pool, and they're able to earn interest denominated in the pool's liquidity asset. So the loan terms are set by the pool delegates, is what actually determines the interest rate. So lenders do not need MPL tokens in order to participate in lending, but they must have obviously the pool denominated assets. For example, if it's a USDT or USDC or wrapped ETH in their wallet, and also some Ethereum for gas fees when you transact on chain. So getting started with the lending platform is actually very straightforward. You can simply go to the web app and you can see a very clear overview of all the pools that are actually available, and users are able to then click on any pool if they want to check out more details. So you'll be able to do that yourself as well. So let's talk about obviously the lending always comes with the risks of borrowers defaulting, right? So how does it work on Maple? in essence, pool delegates actually are able to execute defaults if a borrower has not made a payment, including payment of or insufficient payment of that particular principal, the interest or late fees that are applicable if it's past that grace period on a loan. And typically if you're defaulting, this means that there'll be a reduction in the pool's value by the amount of that outstanding principal on the loan as well, and any interest that's actually accrued. And also you will then be forced to sell any collateral on the loan and increase the value of the pool to the value of the liquidated collateral, and then move delegate first loss capital to the actual value of the liquidation maximum default within that pool. And as far as impairment, Maple actually provides pool delegates with the privilege to impair loans as well in any events of potential non-payment or insufficient payment sort of scenarios. And this could be where a borrower has met, say, another condition of default that's usually articulated in these loan agreements, and the impairment can be put in place to better distribute potential losses to all current lenders. So impairment actually prevents a situation where a loan is known to be compromised, let's say by a borrower distress or some other factor, and then some lenders being able to withdraw their capital prior to those losses, meaning that it would lead some of the remaining lenders holding or shouldering the burden for that lost capital. So in a situation where the pool delegates actually believe that they'll be able to quickly recover or some part of the loan or value from the borrower through collaborative efforts or restructuring, then they're able to do that. The pool delegates as well will maintain an active dialogue with the borrower in order to recover funds through legal processes. But as far as the lending risks, that's something that, as a lender, you would be aware of, or you should be aware of, that, the smart contract risk, a default risk, and also just the risk of loss in general. But as far as withdrawals on Maple, these are actually grouped into withdrawal cycles, which actually just makes it easy, or it just ensures that you as a user, you get a prorated distribution of cash in the event of any partial liquidity in the system, for example. So to withdraw from the protocol, you would submit a request to withdraw during the current withdrawal cycle, and then you can then execute withdrawals during your eligible withdrawal window. So as a user, you can also find the lengths of the withdrawal cycles and the windows in the pool descriptions of the relevant pools that you want to put money in, which is quite very user-friendly, just having that information available. And if you want to borrow on Maple, that's another thing. So it does offer borrowers a capital efficient option in decentralized lending in general. So those who are accepted by these pool delegates must actually go through this pool specific underwriting process prior to then receiving their loans. So if you're a user and you need to connect your wallet to the platform in order for you to actually access the borrowing features, so you would have to make sure you connect, and you will be required to fill in a form in order to determine whether you're actually qualified to borrow on the platform as well. And as far as just the process of actually borrowing, you can view loan histories, including those matured, active ones, or unfunded loans as well on the dashboard, which is very easy and user-friendly as well. So delegates actually do conduct this due diligence on borrowers, and they would agree terms with you if you're a borrower, and they'll do that off chain. And then borrowers or yourself, if you're interested in doing that, if you're an institution, then you are able to submit a loan request on chain, and this request is then actually public. It's viewed by all the pool delegates, and once that new loan request is submitted on chain, it can't be actually altered in any way, obviously, so it's immutable. And if there's an error on the new loan request, then you would need to actually create another one because you can't edit it. So once you're approved on the platform, you can then submit your loan request in pools, and then due diligence is completed, terms are agreed, and then on-chain request for these loans is submitted, and pool delegates then fund the loans by making the funds available to the borrower in order for them to draw it down. So it's also important at this point to know that the loan is then finalized, and then the repayment schedule will actually then commence. So MPL is the ecosystem token, which is what a lot of you might be interested in. The utility is actually enhanced by obviously just making this token very central to the protocol in terms of how it works. So it's going to be used for establishing fees to buy back MPL and transfer it to holders who are staking MPL. So I'll talk about the staking in a minute. So it also enable MPL token to be deposited single-sided to use it as a pool cover to receive fees without actually risking impermanent losses. So interest rebates to borrowers who hold MPL as well is going to be another utility for the token. And then they are looking at introducing this separate Solana token syrup, which is seen as the most sort of secure way and non-dilutive method for initial launch of such a token. So MPL holders will directly benefit from Maple on Solana, as the Ethereum Maple DAO will be the largest holder of syrup, and with generated fees being used to buy back MPL for MPL holders, which is the liquidity token that you get. So when you stake MPL, to get started, quite easy. You just have to go to the actual staking panel on the maple.finance app, connect your wallet with your MPL balance. If you don't have MPL tokens, you can just swap it in your wallet using MetaMask. It's the easiest way. You can then enter the amount you want to actually stake. You proceed to pay the gas, but you just do that once. And as a user, you will have to sign a transaction to give the smart contracts, obviously, permission to interact with your wallet as well. And then you'll have to pay the gas fee for the transaction to also go through. And once you actually confirm the staking transaction is then processed, and users can then verify these transactions on Etherscan, for example. And just like that, you can stake your MPL for XMPL, which is what you will get. And users will actually see this XMPL in their wallet, which is the smart contract token, which MPL actually accrues to. So if you've done farming and things like that, you'd understand this quite easily in terms of staking, where you've got a secondary issuance of another token where you're accruing the value there from. So users are also able to return to the same page, watch their MPL grow. If they're staking, they can watch it compound and to unstake their positions. They can do that anytime. So once you have this XMLP in your wallet, you can participate also in the governance of the Maple protocol, and you can use that XMPL to vote on key decisions, including revenue allocation that's used for MPL buybacks. So staking MPL also enables you as a user to immediately begin to earn a share of the protocol revenues, and you can also track your balances and compounding percentage gains just by going back to the app. If you wish to unstake, you can do that, no lockup periods. So this is a very good project to really check out, guys. You know, I'm always going for the best, especially when it comes to DeFi. I recommend you go check it out for yourself. Of course, make sure you do your own research and never invest in things that you are not prepared to take losses on. But I think just looking at the token price of MPL at the moment, if you've paid attention, I've done reviews before of platforms like Liquidity, and you've seen what that's done in terms of performance over the last few months. And I think these Ethereum liquidity tokens that are centered around Ethereum staking are going to be a huge thing in this next bull cycle. So check it out. If you like the content, make sure you hit that like, subscribe as well to the channel. Make sure you check out our Telegram and our Discord server, and also go to our main site, decentralized.news, if you want to trade crypto, stocks, or forex, but you want to do that on a decentralized exchange that's non-custodial, so you don't have to worry about your funds getting lost into an exchange like what a lot of people experience with FTX. Then you want to check out Gains Trade or G Trade. The link is in the description. That's the best exchange for you guys to use. Other than that, check out my books, Tokenized Trillions, Blockchain Applied, if you want to learn more about a real world asset tokenization. Until next time, I'll see you. Peace.